Welcome to the Susan Brender Show. It's all about you, featuring shows on health and wellness, the performing arts, politics, and people who inspire you to be your best. And now, here's Susan Brender.
I'm Susan Brender, and this is the Susan Brender Show. Today my guest is Cornell Militaru, and he has a passion for music and entertainment since he was a child. His first attempt at producing music was hitting the couch with wooden spoons at the tender age of 8 months, later graduating to his first CB set, then subsequently Tama, and finally Ludwig. His first brush with acting occurred in 2005. I want to welcome Cornell Militaru to my show.
Hi, Susan. Thank you for having me here.
Well, you know, it's very interesting that you started actually doing acting and music when you were so young. What inspired you to do that? And how do you know? Because you were so young. How did you find out that you had this talent?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think anything in general inspired me. I was just made that way. My sister, she kept her eye on me as I was growing up. Everyone obviously paid attention to me, as a little kid dancing around, but she's the one that really stuck me, and she's the one that told me that I crawled. Before I could walk, I was, I believe, months old. I crawled to the kitchen, and I used to grab these wooden spoons out of a drawer, and she noticed me doing that, and I crawled to the couch, and I just started banging away on there. And when I was able to walk, I ended up knowing how to use the VCR already, and we had these new kids on the block tapes, so I would put those in myself. I'd throw on a backwards hat and leather jacket, and I just start dancing until I passed out, until I was sleeping. And she's the one that told me, no one put those spoons in your hands. No one taught you how to use that VCR. You did that all yourself. So this is in your blood. This was not passed down for any other generation in the family. So my whole family's from Romania. I'm the first generation American. So, entertainment wasn't really, in the blood. So that's the story behind that. So yeah. I can't say I was inspired by anything. I was just self-made.
Now, you aggressively began to pursue your acting career in July 2012, and you teamed up with actors and producers to star and co-star in primarily independent films. Well, what was that like?
So, yes, in July 2012, that's when I had my first audition in Sacramento, California. And before that, I was just going from job to job, different trades, and I never loved anything. I just said, try out this acting. I just want to see if I could do anything with this, because I already loved playing with the camera at the point, so I'm like, might as well try it out. So I got on Craigslist, and I looked for open casting calls, and, I found one in Sacramento. So I went there, and I had my audition. I never got a call back. But I'm like, you know what? I don't care if they call me back or not. I'm just going to keep doing this until I land some projects. So I went out and I started doing some photos by myself, and then also with my sister. Started doing some improv videos, threw them on my YouTube. So I slowly started doing research on where to get started, this and that. So I did basically everything on my own from ground up, from scratch, not knowing anything to learning the business more. And so I started getting some callbacks. I auditioned. I did some table reads, and I started landing little projects, like web series, short films, and also in October I landed my first lead role in a short film called Blind Date.
So when you started to get those calls, were you prepared for the problems that go with trying to be an actor? I mean, I know you said you had a passion for it, but it's not easy. So the question becomes, did you persevere? Was that what happened?
Well, in the beginning, when you're getting started, I want to make this clear. If you're a model, musician, or an actor, in the beginning, it's a very expensive investment, meaning first thing a casting director, a producer, or director asks for is a headshot and a resume. So, You got to get out there and get good photos, and a lot of photographers charge an arm and a leg. So that's why I did the opportunity to get my own camera and get, some good quality lenses so I could practice on my photography skills and do my own shoot. So I could do as many as I want on my budget.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as far as the question you asked me, how being prepared. Well, I was working part-time, so I had income coming in, so I was able to afford gas to get to an audition or a table read or a meet and greet, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Now,
and as far as being, prepared, I think that's the number one thing you have to be prepared financially, and everything will come after that.
so there are many stars out there who are the daughters and the sons of very famous people, and you said that your parents had nothing to do with this business of acting and entertainment. Yeah. So when you see them going so far and having so many opportunities, do you feel jealous?
If I feel jealous on, those people, like the other people that had, this in their generation or entertainment?
Well, I'm talking about some of the stars who are sons and daughters of very famous stars who just don't.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, no, not at all. There's no reason to feel jealous. I mean, that's their situation. They were a part of that. So, I mean, they're gifted. Just don't take that for granted. I think a lot of people out there take that for granted and don't really appreciate the hard work. You know what I'm saying? They don't, just because they're starring in a movie, they don't really appreciate the process. Like, yeah, I'm the star of this, whatever, and that's when the ego sets in. See, I appreciate any artist out there. I said that in my previous interviews. I don't care if you're an artist from your basement trying to get out there somewhere, or if you're an artist in Universal Studios that started from ground up. I respect those people because I understand the hard work, dedication, commitment, perseverance it takes, because I'm in their shoes at the moment right now too. I'm like my own team right now. I don't have anyone sharing any of my stuff, or I have no management, nothing like that. So it's really hard, but I'm enjoying this process because that's just the business aspect of it. Everyone wants to be on set. That is beautiful. I can't wait until I'm on a huge production, but there's a business behind all this. So I gotta really, focus on the business part of it. That's really important.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's no jealousy whatsoever. I encourage them, just keep going forward. You were given this opportunity. Don't mess it up like a lot of people did. And if you're there to screw around, then my suggestion to those people is look for a line of work that you like, where you won't be screwing around at. Don't waste other people's time.
Mm-hmm. So, Cornell, what movie did you love doing the most and why?
Okay, so, every project that I was a part of so far, I love being a part of, but if I really have to pick one, it's a short documentary called The Silence Between Words, and it was filmed and directed by a good friend of mine. His name is Matthew Groza. He attended the Arts University of San Francisco State University, sorry. And the reason why it's just super short, it's like close to 3 minutes, it's because it could be interpreted in any way. Everyone has their doubts in life. Everyone has that fight. And in order to overcome, you kind of have to feel everything to get past that obstacle. It's kind of complex because sometimes you have to feel sadness, you want to feel loved, you want to feel abandoned, you want to go through this whole entire roller coaster of emotions to really figure out who you are and what you want in life. So that's how I view that. And I just did a voiceover and I was boxing in the video, like a little montage of, just this guy is in deep thought, and so what has this guy overcome in a way. So I think that has a really strong meaning behind it. So that's why I love it, because it can just be interpreted in any way.
Yeah. So what kind of training did you have to be able to do the work that you do?
Well, like I said, investing in acting activities such as, headshots, classes, all that, that's very pretty expensive, especially out here in the Bay Area, and there aren't a lot of solid acting coaches where I'm at right now, so I don't have any experience. I did attend a class back in 2006 for a month, but that just kind of, I don't know, felt like that class just worked on becoming more of a people person and working on lines as opposed to what it's like when you're on set and everything. So to be honest with you, I didn't learn anything there, but I didn't have any experience at all. The only kind of training I did was just study my movements. I'd go on YouTube. I'd go to like YouTube like workshops, like actually hear celebrities talk about their work and how they critique themselves. So I just studied on my own. I wrote jotted notes down, and I'd just be performing in front of the camera. I'd look in the mirror, just kind of work on my movements, facial expressions, emotions, all of that. So I just pretty much trained myself.
Yeah, and Cornell, one of the things that I think is the most difficult part of acting is trying to learn the script. And that's what's so amazing about certain actors, because it seems that they don't have that problem. And in fact, they're very smart. You can't be ignorant when you're an actor, because your English, the way you study and absorb the kind of script that requires a lot of time. Do you find that for you it's just sort of okay and easy to do it, or is it very difficult for you as well?
I feel that I catch on pretty quick on the script. I'm not one of those people that will read it once I remember every single word, but the idea is to go over it multiple times until it becomes second nature to you. Because if someone hits you with a line, you already know what the next word is. You don't have to think about it. Because acting's not think, it's reacting, like the real acting. A lot of people, you'll see kind of like a mechanical talking, and I caught myself doing that more in the beginning, and so I'm constantly critiquing my work. But it's not too difficult for me to remember lines.
Do you have a mentor? Is there anybody in the field who you go to who helps you just become a better actor?
Susan, I can't wait till I meet someone, but I don't. I really don't. I have no one right now, so it's everything. Like I said, I'm on my own. So.
Yeah. Well, so let's just talk about what's your advice to aspiring actors, because believe me, it sounds like you really know what you're doing, and also you're in a situation where you're all alone. So if you had some advice for another aspiring actor, what would you tell them?
First of all, make sure this is not going to be a hobby of yours, because hobbies come and go, then you'll just like something else. So make sure this is something you really want to do, and really think about where you want to be. Constantly play in front of the camera. You want to treat that if you have a camera, that's awesome. I advise you to get a camera, even if it's like the cheapest camera, something that films. Make that camera your best friend. Talk to it, because that is your best friend. You have to share everything. It has to read you. You can't just turn your back to it like it's not there. You have to make that camera believe everything you're saying. It's like you have to share everything with it. So that's the number one step. You got to get really comfortable in front of that camera. Become more of a people person. Work on your social skills. Also, if you like a movie, any movie you like, if you love a scene from there, and if you want to act it out, I advise you to do that. You could put the subtitles on and write it as if it was sides for a monologue, for an audition. That's what I actually did. So if you really like a scene, just write that out and act out that scene just for fun and practice that. You gotta keep in mind, like I said earlier, that this is a really expensive. Well, it can be a really expensive investment. And it all depends who you know. That's the thing. So I didn't really know anyone, so I had to invest in my own camera. So I didn't have to go to photographers and everything. But really, sorry, I'm just getting a little choked up right now. Sorry guys, I'm a little passionate about this. I can go on and on. I know you're on a little time limit, Susan, but yeah, guys, just don't give up. Just really focus on this. Just do the best that you can. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Go on YouTube. You could find do's and don'ts in the business, where you can start. You can Google anything you have a question about, and if no one knows, and if people think that this is a joke and this is just a silly hobby, don't even associate with them, because they don't read your same language. They don't see eye to eye with you, so just do it. Just get out there and do it. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because it happens. It happens to anyone you see on TV. They make mistakes. Go look at bloopers right now on YouTube. Go to the biggest things. The Big Bang Theory, Sons of Anarchy, anything that's huge that's on TV. You will see them mess up on the easiest little things. It's like supposed to say, hey, how you doing? It's like, hey, do it. Start over. My bad. It's the smallest things. Don't ever feel bad. Things do happen. Just get out there and make things happen. Wait on anyone. That's my biggest advice. Don't wait on anyone to give you an opportunity, because that's never going to really happen unless you push yourself out there. Don't knock on that door. Kick that door down and present yourself. Let them know you. That's my advice to you guys.
Well, so what has acting really taught you?
Acting has taught me how to express my emotions. It has also taught me how to interact better and listen better to people. Because in the past, when I was having a simple conversation, if someone was talking to me, I'd kind of get sidetracked, like easy. I know it's not ADD one bit. I have that hyper mentality, so I find little things funny. I'd want to laugh, but right now, it really got me into that focusing, more serious mode when I'm having a conversation and be on that professional level. I don't have that like junior high, early high school mentality. I feel like a freaking adult, I'm 27, so I feel good having a random conversation with anyone and, just tell them what's on my mind or listen. Yeah. And what I really love about acting is there's a backstory behind that. This is my number one, my love right here. This is the one meaning that I love. So when I was a kid, I'd constantly be going from school to school. I wasn't the nicest kid, so I did get sent out in elementary school. It's like, okay, we don't need Cornell here. Will we accept them? So constantly I had to go to a new environment, new faces, make new friends. So I'd always have to adapt. And I always adapted quick. It was nothing for me to make someone laugh. It was nothing for me to make a friend. That was my personality. I was very outgoing, and I was a jokester, so a lot of people liked me. A couple kids didn't, but it's okay. So that kind of reminds me of doing one film, one project, whatever. I wrap, I go on to the next one. That's a new beginning, new environment, new faces, so I adapt and I perform. So that was kind of the same thing, and I liked that. It's like a new life refreshing all the time. So it's never the same person. That's why I can't do a 9-to-5 job. That's why I can't do a trucking job, because it's constantly the same routine. Yeah, I'm going somewhere else, but it's the same routine. Acting, I could constantly change it up, whether it's my look, my voice, or my performance. And that's just the bottom line right there. That's my ultimate love right there. That's my final destination, and I made up my mind, and that's it for me.
So tell our audience how you prepare for an audition, because that's a pretty difficult thing to do. It seems to me that when you have to prepare, wow, you have to be somebody special. Otherwise, the 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 people who are waiting online to audition have something over you, and how do you prepare so that you have a chance?
So I had about probably 12 actual auditions, and to prepare my first audition, I didn't know I just drove to the location. I didn't even know what I was doing, so I didn't prepare whatsoever. I showed up there, I went over my lines, and I did that. So I found myself doing the same thing the first 7 auditions, and then I started treating it like it's an everyday thing. Like, just think about it. It's like, I don't have that mentality like, don't talk to me right now, I'm about to go to an audition. Once you're tense and once you're just focused, okay, just do it good. I know you're good. Just forget, scrap all that. Just go there. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go and do this audition. I'll read for these people and just kind of see what happens. I'll just do my best. Be very relaxed. And if there's some occasions where I didn't even get sides prior to it, meaning my, lines to read for the project, I just showed up there and I was waiting. So, and then towards my last before, I was just completely comfortable. So that's the key thing is being comfortable with it and relaxed and not thinking much about it. Just block everything else out and just focus on that.
Is there any...
As far as, like, I'll say it, as far as major preparation, not much, to be honest with you. I don't do much to prepare.
Mm-hmm. So is there any particular actor whom you like to emulate? Someone who really seems to have something that is so special that when you watch them act, you just say, oh, I wish that was me.
Not really emulate, but there's certain emotions that I do study from certain actors. Will Smith is definitely one of them. Brad Pitt, Robert De Niro, and I know big guy now, Charlie Hunnam. He's playing Jack Teller in Sons of Anarchy. There's a couple of his dramatic emotions that I kind of incorporate in my way. So yeah, there's a few out there, definitely. I don't try to sound like anyone because you're your own person. But there's nothing wrong with stealing a certain emotion, even if it's dead on, like a Will Smith, because I'm gonna be doing that in my way. So, because whatever you take from someone, they took from someone else. You know, it didn't originate from them. That's just kind of how it goes. It's like a family tree. It goes on and on. So,
you know, Cornell, I'm going to put you on the spot for a moment. What I want to, is there a little script that you remember that really turned you on? And if there is, I would like you to kind of show our audience how it sounds. Give us a little sort of, just a small piece of one of the acting parts that you played in.
I could do a monologue that I prepared for an audition.
Let's do it.
So basically, this is from a movie called Run, Fat, Run. So the story behind this is this guy and this woman, they were going to get married in England, and he was scared on their wedding day to get married, so he totally just booked it down the road. He took off running and left her pregnant at the altar. And years have gone by. She's moved on. He's moved on. And he saw her with her new fiance. And he started feeling that jealousness. And he just really wanted to make it up to her. He wanted to say sorry, but, you know, she just didn't care anymore. And he happened to see her at this one engagement party that she was having. And he totally opened up to her. His name is Dennis, and her name is Libby, and the new guy she was with is Whit. So this is Dennis talking to Libby, basically apologizing for what he's done, and if there's any way that she could forgive him type of situation, okay? So here it goes. She's about to walk out, and he's like, Libby, wait. I never actually thanked you for sort of just letting me back into your life. You know, you're right about me running the marathon. It wasn't that I was trying to win you back sort of a thing, and I wish that we always had gotten back together and all, but, you know, when I saw you with Whit, look, I know it's the height of hypocrisy, and I know doing this isn't going to change anything or, you know, make any better, but, I'd just settle for your respect. You know, I'd settle for you smiling instead of. I'd settle for you smiling instead of you thinking about the bad times we had, and I wish you just thought that they were good times and not just a waste of time. Look, I know I didn't do you any favors that day. I did a stupid thing. All right? But it was only because I thought spoiling your day was better than ruining your life. Does that make any sense? Okay. So that was that.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. And
it was kind of it's a little interesting doing that over the phone and not seeing the facial, you know.
Sure. Well, but believe me, the emotions that you put into that were pretty profound. And so let's just end on this. So what new movies are you working on now? And tell our audience how, if they want to see your movies, how they do that.
Okay, the one movie that's in post-production right now that I wrapped up 3 scenes last week, it's called The Dead End Part 3. It's a horror film, and I'm playing Carl, the cameraman. As far as them knowing when the release dates come out, I have no idea. But if people were to find me on Facebook, Twitter, I update there frequently so they could see the dates. But that's the one that's going to be coming out that I know right now. The one is in post-production called Fight for Your Life. I'm playing a teen boxer's corner man, small role. I don't know what the status is with that, and I have about 4 other feature films. I can't even say the names because I don't know what the status is with them, so I don't want people to kind of get their hopes up or search and say, I can't find it, what happened to that, I don't want to make it all complicated. So I do have about 4 feature films coming up. I don't even know the genres yet. I think one's going to be comedy, science fiction. It's going to be filmed out of the state, I believe on the East Coast somewhere. But like I said, I update my Facebook frequently so you can find all the information there. I like to keep everyone in the loop.
So what is your Facebook page? And tell the audience.
So Facebook.com/Cornell Militaru, and you'll also find one of my like page as well.
Well, Cornell, it's been a pleasure speaking to you today. You are indeed an inspiration because the fact is that you're a young man who's been able to persevere, and you certainly have a passion for what you do. So I want to thank you for being on the Susan Brender Show.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to The Susan Brender Show.